One of the greatest instruments you could ever have to help your company innovate products or services that will be right on the money is ethnographic research. But what exactly is ethnography? Well, ethnography is a subset of anthropology and is a social science research method which relies on up-close personal experience and possible participation, not just observation, by researchers trained in the art of ethnography. This enables one to understand both articulated and unarticulated customer needs through observing human behavior. For example, they observed people while completing chores that required a flashlight, like fixing the plumbing pipes of a sink. They noticed that people would place the flashlight between their teeth so that they could use both hands to get the job done. This in turn led them to invent the snake light that can hold itself. Why would you use ethnography? Traditional market research techniques like focus groups will not always tell you what you need to know. Why do we say this? Because there is more often than not a huge disconnect between what people say they do and what they actually do. Also, people often have needs that they are not even aware of. How do you apply ethnography? Ethnography, like any science, should be done by trained researchers who know how to apply it to get the best results. These are just some of the elements of the ethnographic research methodology. The customer's behavior is studied in everyday contexts while using the product or consuming the service, rather than under experimental conditions. Observation and/or relatively informal conversations are usually the main sources of data. The approach to data collection is unstructured in the sense that it is not based on a predetermined structure or set of rules or categories. This does not mean that the researcher is unsystematic in their approach, simply that initially the data is collected in as raw a form and on as wide a front as feasibly possible. Typical ethnographic research employs three kinds of data collection: interviews, observation, and documents. This in turn produces three kinds of data: quotations, descriptions, and excerpts of documents, resulting in one product: a narrative description of the job to be done and outcome expectations. Now, what if we tell you that an exercise of ethnography could be your most lucrative investment ever? Why? Well, because some of the greatest, most profitable innovations in history were a result of addressing consumer needs that they themselves were not even aware of yet. Just look at the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad, for example. You too can redefine your company and create your very own new product or service. You can innovate to take your company from good to great, to where no one has ever been before. Ethnography can help you to do just that.